Hi guys, it's Haven. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day as usual. I wasn't quite sure what to do for this weekend's video, so I decided that I would do something that I'm very familiar with. Lately it's been kind of a crapshoot. I don't know what I'm doing until I get into it with you guys and open things up. But this one is something that I do on a daily basis, and so I'm very familiar with the process and I know exactly, the steps. And so what I thought I would do today is show you guys how I do my makeup every single day on a daily basis. This is my go-to makeup look for work, my 9-to-5 job, or if I go to a baby shower or a brunch, whatever the case is, this is pretty much my go-to. I play around with shadows here and there, but I mean, at the end of the day, I know what works and I love. So I'm just going to go ahead and walk you guys through my daily beauty routine. First and foremost, I always want to throw my hair up. So let's do that. And the very first thing I always do is start out with Makeup Revolution Pro Base Aqua Priming Base. And this is a spray, and it just kind of gives your skin just a little bit of hydration, just kind of gets things dewy, I guess, to get started. So let me just do a quick spritz. And I should have stopped talking before I sprayed. Okay, next I always just take my Baby Lips by Maybelline. It's just clear, nothing on it, and I just kind of swipe that over my lips just to, again, just add some moisture and life and kind of get things going. So I'm going to add that. And then to prime my eyelids on a daily basis, I always use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Anti-Crease Eyeshadow Primer. I don't believe them when they say anti-crease, because I actually usually put a setting powder over this because of the amount of crease. So the amount of creasage, I guess, if that's even a word. So let me go ahead and just get a little dollop on my fingertip. And I usually just kind of put a dot over each lid and just kind of smooth things in. And again, I'm not having the best complexion, so bear with me on that, but we are going to conceal all these imperfections that you are seeing. And then you can see, I don't know if you can really see it, but it's actually got a little bit of creasage right off the bat. So I always take my Airspun powder, which honestly, I hardly have any left of this. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a flat brush and I'm going to just pack it over my lids just to kind of make sure that that primer stays down. Okay guys, so I went ahead and packed that primer down on my lids with some setting powder. And then up next, a new favorite, ever since my Sephora haul, I've been using this on a daily basis. It's by Becca. It's called Ever Matte Poreless Priming Perfector. It is awesome. I mean, honestly, I was thrown off by this because the top of the box said oil blotting paper and I didn't really understand it, but once I started using it, I understood it, because a little goes a long way, and wherever you put this, it's basically going to create almost like a dry patch on your face. I mean, oil will not get through this stuff. I don't know what they have in here, but it works. So like I said, a little goes a long way, so I don't ever do my whole face with this. It's a little bit overwhelming. So I actually just usually do my T-zone, these areas right here, because that's where I seem to experience oil the most. So like I said, I'm not even going to use that much. This is no joke. I mean, this stuff does not mess around. And you always have to make sure you blend it immediately because it's fast drying as well. So this stuff is really, really cool. So we're letting that primer dry. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start on my eyeshadow. It's usually pretty simple. I mean, I don't really use a lot of colors on a daily basis. If I'm going out in the town or going to like Fifth Avenue or, something fancy, then I'll probably take it up a notch, but this is just my everyday look. So what I always start out with on my eyes is Anastasia Beverly Hills Caramel. This is a well-loved item. I don't know if you can see the dent in that bad boy, but I'm about to hit pan because I use this every single day. And what I really like to do with this is just take a fluffy brush, which I have not cleaned. I apologize to all you clean freaks. And I'm just going to go ahead and focus this lightly on my outer corner. I'm not really trying to create any drama. I'm just trying to create some depth. So I put some of that caramel in my outer corner. What I like to do next is take a smaller, more of a dome brush. This is actually a Morphe brush, but there's no number on it. And then in my outer corner, in a little bit more of a tight line, I will put this shadow also by Anastasia Beverly Hills, and it's in the color Fudge. Let me show you the name. It's kind of dirty, so I use it every day. And then Fudge, and I love that. And again, I'm going to use this, get some on the brush, and then only focus this on the outer corner in a smaller section than the caramel. So we're just going to kind of keep that like tight right here. And see how it just kind of gives it some depth? I mean, that's my favorite part, is that it kind of makes my small eyes pop. And once I complete everything with, you know, liner and mascara, of course it seals the deal, but this is a great base. So I'm going to do the other corner. And now you can see we kind of have some darkness going on in the outer corner, and of course we have not touched our lid or our inner corner at all, because we are saving that for a light color. So let me just verify that everything is kind of blended. I'm going to take my caramel brush again and just kind of smooth everything together. And then what I like to do is, actually this is a drugstore brand. It is by L'Oreal, and it's an eyeshadow that is called Morning Light. And again, this is very well loved. It's something that I use often. It's a beautiful, like, icy white kind of color, and I'm just obsessed with it. So what I actually like to do is, I feel like the best way to get the most pigmentation from the shadow is just to take my pinky and just kind of go ahead and line my inner corner with it. So let me just do that. And you can see right away it just gives it some pop of color. Okay, and now you can see that there's almost like a gradient effect going on. Obviously this needs some blending, so I'm just going to go ahead and take my caramel brush that I used in the beginning, and I'm just going to go to the area where all the colors kind of meet in the middle. Okay, sorry about that. My chip ran out of storage. But yeah, so what I was saying is where the colors all meet in the middle, I usually just kind of take my fluffy brush and just lightly just kind of blend them together. Like, see the harsh line right here? I'm just going to kind of blend that together so the meeting of the colors isn't harsh, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really like that gradient effect, how I have the light and then the caramel and then a little bit of the fudge in the outer corner. So that is actually all I do for the shadow. So as far as liner, I just came across this awesome liner. It's by ColourPop. It's called Cream Gel Liner, and it's just a basic black eyeliner, but honestly I love it. I use it every day now. I got it in an Ipsy bag as a sample, and I haven't used anything since. So I'm just gonna line my upper lash line right now, and I will be right back. So another thing that I like to do on a regular basis is actually line my upper lash line. After I use like a pencil liner, I like to actually go over it with a liquid liner just to kind of make things more crisp and have them stay for the day. So I just did this off camera. I first put on my ColourPop you know, pencil liner, and then I used my Maybelline Line Stiletto liquid liner. This is one product that I will never live without, and I actually think that they might have discontinued it because the past 3 times I've gone to get more, I haven't found it, so I'm a little worried. But this is something I use often. I love it. It's something else that I have been doing lately that I can't stop now. It's almost like an addiction, is lining my lower waterline with like a bright color. I've been using neutrals and whites, and those are awesome, but I just recently came across this beautiful, beautiful color by Marc Jacobs. It's called Pink of Me, and you can see you know, it's got pretty packaging. It just looks really nice. I mean, I think this was like 12 bucks, 14 bucks, but it's pretty long compared to a regular liner, as you can see, so you do get more product. And so what I like to do is literally just to open up my little almond eyes that I have here, is just open this up and go ahead and line my lower waterline. Okay, as you can see, it's kind of like bam, you know, it's supposed to be waterproof, long-lasting, and I think that it has actually lived up to that so far. So I do recommend the Marc Jacobs, what's it called, Highliner in Pink of Me. Sounds like I'm having a stroke or something, but no, that's actually literally what it's called. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for the eyes. Obviously I have to do mascara, but I save that for last. So I'm just going to go ahead and start on my face. Okay, so what I do first usually is I take my Physicians Formula Super BB stick, and this is just kind of something I just swipe underneath my eyes every day. I don't even know if it really does anything. I don't have that bad of like dark circles, but I just try to make that area as light as possible because I feel like I could use help as far as making my eyes look bigger. So I literally just do a quick swipe, and then I go ahead and use my Revlon Color Stay Concealer, which is a holy grail item for me. I've been using it since I was 15, no joke. But no, so what I do is I don't touch that Physicians formula yet, but I go ahead and take my Revlon Color Stay, and I just go ahead and kind of dot some imperfections. Like, of course, I always have some to work with, so we're just going to kind of dot things around. And then what I love to use, I'm sure you've seen it now in a couple of videos, for foundation is my Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation. I am obsessed with this. I will use it every day until it runs out, and then I will go buy more because that's how much I love this. It's like $45, but honestly, you get what you pay for. I mean, that's all I can really say. I actually wanted to show you guys, I got a cute little beauty blender holder. It's like called an egg holder. I just thought that was adorable. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab my beauty blender and put some of this Makeup Forever on here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and go over all the little dots that I just put and all the concealers and just kind of smooth everything around. Okay, and once I have everything kind of smoothed around, like the big areas, I usually take a smaller foundation brush by e.l.f. and I just kind of get things like in the corners and the nooks and crannies and just kind of make sure the creases are all blended out. So I'm just going to go ahead and obviously blend that down in my neck, make sure we don't have any harsh lines. Okay, and immediately what I like to do is again take my Airspun powder and I take my beauty blender. We just used that to put on the foundation, but I take this side. It's cute. I mean, obviously I use that for baking often, but I go ahead and take that little side and I just bake right under my eyes. I just don't want any creasing. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm not a fan of creasing. So I immediately get it under my eyes, let that sit for a second. In the meantime, I'm going to take another fluffy brush and I'm going to use the rest of the powder that's in the pan. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it all over my face. Just put it over the rest of my face. And then at the end, I go ahead and just wipe off the bottom. Or I'm sorry, at the end I go ahead and wipe off underneath my eyes. Next I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This stuff is beautiful and it smells good, so this is a holy grail of mine. I'm just going to be using a random brush, and I love to just kind of get it in the, you know, the chisel of my cheek, my jawline, obviously my nose a little bit, just kind of do like the outer perimeter of my face. And it really doesn't give you that dramatic of a glow, but it just kind of gives you like a little bit of something, a little something to work with. And then for blush, I absolutely love this. It's by CoverGirl and it's called True Blend Blush. And I'm trying to see if there's a color. It really doesn't have color. I don't know. Okay. Obviously, I use this often, as you can see the residue on the outside, but it is gorgeous. I mean, look at all the marble and the pretty color in it. I just love this stuff. So I just put a blush brush in that, and I just kind of do it on the apples of my cheeks. Just lightly do it everywhere. I mean, gosh, we're just trying to give ourselves some color on a vanilla face. But yeah, so that's it for the foundation and you know, blush and bronzer. Let's see, the very next step is I usually at this point do my brows. I have done a brow video. It's like one of my first videos ever. I was kind of a nervous wreck and I don't even think you could see it that well. But yeah, I'm not going to go ahead and do the whole thing again today on camera. I will show you what I use. First, I use Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in medium brown. And that I just kind of take, spoolie up my brows, get them in line for the day, and then I just kind of start here. I don't do it at the very beginning. I start here, and I just kind of trace underneath my brow, and then kind of follow the tail. And then again, starting in the 1/3 in, because I like to do a gradient effect. Okay, so that's one outer brow done. Let me do the other one. Okay, so I did both outer areas of my brow. For the inner brow, I also use Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, but this one is in taupe. So again, we're going to be going in a gradient type effect. We are going for a gradient effect, I should say. So I'm just going to kind of stroke this on my inner brow, just to kind of make it look like hair, but not as dark as the rest, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some feather-like strokes in there. And then to kind of like blend things together, I always take my spoolie and just kind of go, you know, pull one of these. Okay, so now that I have my brows in the shape that I would like them in, I have a couple different brow shaping liquids that I use. I don't even know if that's the right word. But this one I'm going to use today is by Ulta Beauty. It's called Brow Tint in medium. And I received this in a Ulta free gift set, which I actually did an unboxing and swatching video, so I will link that down below as well. And I just kind of lightly go over that with the Ulta Brow Tint. And do you see how it just kind of gives it like perfect shape? And compared to that, it just gives it like that extra amount of color that I'm looking for. Okay, so now that the brows are done, I'm going to actually finish up the last step I usually do with my eyes before I do mascara. And I forgot to mention this to you guys. For the lower lash line, we know that I used that Pink of Me highlighter from Marc Jacob. But what I also like to do, just to kind of amp it up a notch on a daily basis, is take that fudge eyeshadow that we used in the very beginning and take a small angled brush, which this says it's a brow brush, but I actually don't use it for that. So I'm going to take a little bit of that fudge, and I'm just going to smudge that on my lower lash line because I'm a huge fan of smudging of the lower lash line. Hey guys, so now that I have smudged that on my lower lash line, it's kind of funny how many layers I do because I have the light color on my waterline, then I have a smudge lash line, then I have eyeliner in a pencil form, then eyeliner in a liquid form. I mean, this is literally what I do every single day, so it's kind of funny now that I'm actually saying it to somebody out loud. It's like, damn, I kind of do a lot. Anyway, but it's time to kind of finish up the loose ends. I mean, I pretty much finished the base of my face. So up next, I am going to go ahead and just throw on my lips. What I've been wearing on a daily basis for about the past month is a Tarteist lip paint. I really love the color Rosé. I mean, this has just been giving me life. I even got one for my mom, and she said it didn't stay on all day for her, but otherwise she loved the color. So we will see. I'm still obsessed with it, so I still have yet to find something else that stays, like the lip paint. But just to kind of make my lips lined and give me a little bit of like something to work with as far as an outline of my lips, I always use the same thing. It's by Jordana. It's called Easy Liner for Lips, and it's in Rose Crushed. It's just a very, dusty rose, light pink type color, and it's, again, not very dramatic. It's just there to give me an outline to work with. So I'm just going to line my lips. And again, it doesn't really do a whole lot. I think it's almost a mental thing at this point, but it just kind of helps me stay in the lines when I'm painting with the lip paint. But yeah, so here is the rosé, the lip paint in rosé. And I'm just going to go ahead and swipe this on my lips. This stuff is just beautiful. It's so rich and creamy, and I just love the formula. So let me just go ahead and swipe it on. Look at that. Ah. I feel like it just gives my face so much color. I just love this lip stuff. Like, I hate that my mom didn't like it as much as me. But anyway, so we are down to the very last step, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to go ahead and swipe on my mascara. I think you guys know how mascara is applied, so I don't really know that I need to do it on camera. But what I do use on a daily basis is two mascaras. First, I use the Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt. And this one has a really cool wand. I will actually show you guys. I've showed you before, but it's just got a unique shape. It looks like butterfly wings. And honestly, this does the trick for me. But just because I am not a fan of boring, I like to amp it up a notch, of course. So I think I've mentioned many times that I always use my Too Faced Better Than Sex. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on the Voluminous Butterfly Sculpt. As you can see, that does give you length, but there's more length to be had. So I'm just going to continue on with my Better Than Sex. Alright, you guys, well, I am officially ready to hit the road. So this is my full face that I do every single day before work. No matter what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to start with. I mean, again, like I said, if I'm going to a major event, I can glam it up, but this is like the base of what I do on a daily basis. So I just wanted to show you guys my everyday makeup routine, and this is it. Oh, and I just had a dope moment. I completely forgot to use makeup setting spray. That's something I do every single day, and I use the Maybelline Master Fix Wear Boosting Setting Spray, and I'm almost out of this. I use it every day no matter what, and I can't believe the one time I'm doing an everyday makeup video, I forgot the last step. I'm not going to do it now because my mascara is still a little bit wet, and I do not want a wet tarantula eye look, so I'm going to go ahead and skip it, actually. But I do feel like the poreless, whatever it's called, the Becca mattifying stuff, I feel like that kind of what's the word? It compensates for the makeup setting spray. I mean, I do use both of them regularly, and my stuff stays all day. But I guess we'll go ahead and test it out and see if it even matters if I wear setting spray or not, because I'm going to skip this today. But yeah, otherwise, every single step I did is something I do on a daily basis. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. Bye!